to the second video of GEarheads how-to. In today's video we're going to do basic metal fabrication, so we're going to take a piece and cut it down to size and then drill a few holes in it. Today we're going to be making a bracket out of 3/4 inch aluminum that's 1.5 inches long with 2 holes in it. The holes are going to be 11/64ths and then the holes are going to be 24 millimeters apart. Today we're going to be using a file, a square, a hacksaw, a ball peen hammer, and a punch, an 11/64 drill bit, a countersink bit, a drill, and then for measuring we can either use a calipers, which is accurate and convenient, or you can just use a ruler. So first we're going to cut out the piece, but first we have to mark out where we're going to cut it. So we're going to use our ruler and mark out 1.5 inches from the end, and then we'll take our square and we'll drag that line across the whole piece so we know that we're cutting straight when we start to cut it. So we'll do it across there, and then we'll do it across here as well. Just like that. And then we can take this and use a vise to cut it, put it over here. And you want to make sure one of the lines, preferably if you can get 2 of them to show, so you know that you're staying straight while you're cutting the piece. And then we'll clamp it down in the vise. And then we can take the hacksaw, which we had earlier, and we can cut out the piece. Starting slow and just making a little mark so we make sure the saw is staying straight when we start cutting through it. And then as that little cut starts to get deeper, you can start going back and forth with it a little bit and start going a little bit quicker. Okay, next we're going to take the piece that we just cut off, which is 1.5 inches, and we're going to put that in the vise, clamp that down, and then you'll take your file and you'll slowly start to do just the top of it to get any like big rough edges off, and you're going to go smoothly across it, trying not to go too aggressive at the start. And then once you get the top relatively smooth, you can start to do the sides a little bit, doing the same thing, staying smooth at about a 45-degree angle, and then you'll do each side as much as you can, just until it's smooth, making sure you won't like cut yourself on it. Once you do that, you can take the corners and kind of turn with the corners at the same 45-degree angle as you were before. And then once you do all the edges and corners, you can go back up to the top just to finally smooth it off again.
Alright, now we're going to mark and center punch the holes. To do this, first we want to find the center of the space of the piece. So we're going to draw 2 lines from each corner. And now the point of intersection is at the center of the piece. So now we're going to draw a horizontal line that intersects the center point. To do this, we're going to use a pair of digital calipers. So turn them on and 0 them. Now mark from one edge of the piece to the center point, and lock the calipers with the screw. Now you can drag the calipers across to mark a line. Alright, and now we can mark 12 millimeters from each side. Finally, we will center punch where we want the holes to be. Place the point of the center punch at the center of the hole and hit it firmly with the hammer.
Okay, so to drill the 2 holes, we're going to use the center punch holes as guides. So once we get the bit in there, the center punch holes that Josh made will actually guide the drill bit in so we know it's straight. Before we drill, we want to make sure that we're always wearing our safety glasses and that we always keep the piece clamped down to something, especially if it's a little and sharp piece like this. That really matters, especially if you're using a drill press. Today we'll be using just a drill, but we'll still want to keep the piece clamped down. That'll also make sure that your hole is flat. Now once you get your 11/64 drill bit in your drill or drill press, if your drill has a hammer mode or a drill mode, you want to make sure your drill is in drill mode. So we'll put it in the hole of the center punch and we'll slowly turn. Once it starts to get into that hole and kind of make its own hole, you can start to go a little quicker and push down with a little bit of force. If your drill bit gets stuck in the piece like here, you can go left on your drill and then pull it out, and then once it comes out, retighten the drill bit in your chuck as much as you can, and then you can keep going from where you started. And then once you're in and through the piece, you want to keep turning when you pull it out. And then we'll do the other side just the same way. And then we'll make sure the chuck is tight. And then we'll go into the hole of the center punch again and slowly start until we start to feel a bigger hole, and then we can start to pick up the speed. Okay.
To deburr the holes for safety and to provide a flush surface. To do this, we're going to use a countersink bit. Place the tip of the bit in the hole and turn the drill slowly. Press it and turn it faster for a few seconds. Now repeat it on the other hole. Now you can deburr the other side of the hole as well.
And now we have our finished piece, which matches the model that we were supposed to. Now, although this is a really simple process, you can see on our robot here we have multiple parts. So here we have a little arm bracket, and here we have a little spring bracket. So this simple process can be used all over your robot. Thank you for joining us on the second episode of GEarheads How To. Wear your safety glasses, stay safe, see you next time.